Right. Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us here on TikTok Live. I got King Jedson with me.
What's going on?
Listen, I'm still in shock.
Yeah.
Feel kind of sick. This is wild. You were cruising in this season. There's only a couple weeks left. Are you as shocked as we all are to see you out here?
I'm more than shocked at this point, Arisa. I was sitting pretty in this game. I had my highs, I had my lows, but I thought I set myself up in a perfect position. I had great social relationships. I was winning competitions, and I felt so good about it that I put my life on the line when I had won a veto just to save the people that I've gotten here with. So if that doesn't tell you that I felt good, then I don't know what will.
It's wild. You had a girl, you had your bestie, you had two solid alliances, the Sunsetters and the Sauce. Do you understand why they saw you as such a threat to win?
Yeah, you know what? I do understand. I kind of just hope that they didn't see it as soon as they did. I know that if I got to the end of this game, I would have won. I knew from the very beginning that I was going to win this game. Especially after making a historic move that never has been made in BB history. I knew that this move has never been made. I came into this game saying that if I have the opportunity to make this move, I will make it.
Oh, okay. So
yes.
This was a move you had your eye on.
Yes, this is a move that I had my eye on. I always said, watching the past seasons, that imagine somebody took someone else off the block while they were on the block and then stayed that week. That would be legendary. So I tried it. I set myself up in the perfect position to pull it off. And my alliance just didn't let it go. So, unfortunately, I'm out here, and they're still in there.
Well, it was risky, and you knew that.
Yes.
It was like you're going down in history one way or another.
Yes, yeah.
You still think you would have done that?
Honestly, I still think I would have done it. I wanted to do it so badly. I wanted to be the first one to ever do it. I told myself I'd come into this house, and I'd make moves that have never been made before. I wanted to make waves in this house, and I said I was never going to shy away from a big moment. And for me, that was a big moment. And my whole life, I've been on the big stage. I've been an athlete. I've been in big games. This was a big game for me, and that was the final shot. I just missed.
Cool. And we'll never be the same.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the people who voted against you tonight. Kiefer, who was one of your alliance members from Time, he was really hurt. Are you surprised by how hurt he was when you put him on the block?
I was surprised, and I wasn't. I know that Kiefer is an emotional player, and he has shown that in the past, just from how he gets riled up with certain events that happen in the house, and he does not forget about them. And he'll bring them up weeks later, and he'll hold grudges about them. And I really should have thought of that before I put him on the block. I thought he would understand the move. I could have went about it in a better way. But at the time, we were thinking he could potentially go home because of his resume, because he's such a big player in this game, and his social relationships in the game were so strong, we knew that he would win. So I needed him to be on the block that week to either split him and Tina up or to just take him out as a big target. I should have communicated it better with him. Maybe I shouldn't have put him on the block. I should have put Braden on the block, but I wanted to save face with other players. So it was a tough decision, and ultimately it burned me.
And the way you're describing that is kind of very similar to, I think, how a lot of people were thinking about you.
Yes.
Tell me about Ty, Undercover Brothers, your day one.
Ooh, gives me shivers, honestly, to talk about it. Ty's the first guy I saw when I walked into this house. Big smile. We played varsity basketball against each other a couple of years ago. We didn't even know that until later, but he is someone that I really resonated with on a personal level. We have a lot in common. We've been through a lot of the same experiences, and I just knew that he would be my guy in this game. But I think as the Sauce formed, he saw me getting closer with Beth, and he may have felt a little bit of a third wheel, especially the past 2 weeks when we've been living in that HOH room.
Posted up in the HOH together.
We've been posted up in the penthouse. I feel like he started drifting away, and I don't think he thought of his game as being as strong as mine. So when given the opportunity, he wants $100,000. He's going to cut his best friend in order to get it.
If you had to choose between Ty and Beth to bring to the end, say, who would you have brought?
Oh. Honestly,
we need to know.
If the Sauce made it to the final three, that was going to be the biggest decision I had to make in this game.
A triangle does not win Big Brother Canada, even an isosceles triangle, Jed.
I know it doesn't, and I thought our goal was to just get there. And in that moment, I knew that I could win that HOH and make the decision. It would have been extremely tough because I've been telling them both that they were my day ones and they're both my number ones. But I'm laying in bed at night with Beth, so I think at the end of the day, I would have taken her.
Okay. Do you think you have an interest in continuing in the relationship after the show?
With Deshaun?
With Beth.
I'm kidding, yeah.
Great question also, but yes, with Beth.
Yeah, I mean, we've definitely grown so much as a duo in this game. We've become very strong, and we've had deep conversations, not always about game. She's always been there for me when I needed advice, when I needed to just talk openly. She really taught me that giving and spilling your emotions isn't a bad thing. It doesn't make you weak, right? I'm used to bottling things up inside. I listen a lot and I don't give a lot. So she really has been there for me, and I'm hoping that outside of this game, we'll still have a strong relationship. Although she does live across the country, we can figure it out. I'm definitely planning on going out to Calgary pretty soon. So hopefully I see her then. And yeah, I'm hoping that we can, if not be in a relationship, keep our friendship as strong as it is.
Now, Tara did tell you a lot of things in that HOH room. How are you processing what she told you?
Oh, I mean, I'm still processing it because it was so much. It was like an overload. She came in, teared up. She was devastated. She felt as though they just used her to get me out, and they did. And when I heard about the plan, the trap door, to kind of strong arm me into using this veto on Beth and really taking advantage of my kindness and my loyalty, I was very hurt. Like, hearing that Kiefer really orchestrated the whole thing and that Deshaun was in on it and that Beth had a couple hands in it as well, it was heartbreaking to me because I'm sitting here thinking I'm making a huge move to get us to stay together, and they're on the other side talking about how it's a perfect opportunity to get me out. So it is heartbreaking.
It's a lot to handle.
Yes.
It's a lot. So when you show up at jury, how are you going to explain how on earth you are walking in? Because you got a chance that very few other house guests have to get back in the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a epic story. Like, I think I'm going to need a couple of drinks before I tell it because...
Yeah, pull up a chair, everybody.
Pull up a chair. Let's get by the campfire because I need to talk about my move to use the veto. I need to talk about getting Tara to put up someone that wasn't even in my alliance, setting us up in the perfect position to keep our alliance together, having all of them flip on me, sending me out, and then subsequently sending Tara out, and then us both being able to battle to get back in, and then me ultimately losing to Tara. So, I mean, all the power to Tara. I love her on a personal level, and she really earned her place in there, and I'll give that to her. I wish her all the best. Unfortunately, it was at my demise, but it's going to be a good story to tell.
For sure. I mean, it's true. This was a big game. You know, sometimes you get the W, sometimes you just have to sit and take the L, and then move on.
Right.
And then move on. Because I'm telling you, the amount of people that are rooting for you and love you because you are a beautiful person. And I think that's one thing a lot of people are taking from your experience in there, watching you in there, is you couldn't be who you weren't. You couldn't do the deceit thing. You were all about loyalty, even knowing that only one person wins. It's a lot.
Yeah.
I also do want to talk about the season feeling different.
Yes.
It's a lot of seasoning in this season.
There's a lot. There's a lot.
What was it like for you?
I mean, it was very different. I've watched almost all the seasons of BB Can. I'm a big fan, and this year was just way different. Just with the way that things operate and the way we have to do things and take extra precaution. But I mean, I think everybody here and everyone on the set did an amazing job. There was never a time where I didn't feel safe.
Amazing.
And I think I was literally in the safest place in Canada.
Lots of people are jealous.
Yes.
You're in there with dumbass, hugging.
Yeah.
I mean, I was jealous.
Yeah.
And what about feeling like you were representing your community?
Yeah, I mean, I'm from a small town, 16,000 people, Midland, Ontario. That's where I was born and raised. And I know that they're supporting me. And it just shows that, you know, you can make it from a small town. I mean, there's no reason why anyone else can't do this. And I'm nothing that special, guys. Like, I just put myself out there. I took a leap of faith, and look how far I got. So if not anything else, I just hope that it inspires other people to do the same.
You have no doubt. I have no doubt. You have inspired so many people. You're such a beautiful person.
Thank you.
We are so sorry to lose you from the house. But at least you get to go to jury, chill before finale when you're going to help choose the winner of this wild season.
Wild.
Wild.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you so much, Jedson.
Thank you so much, Arisa.
See you next week for our last TikTok interview. That's Thursday night. I'll see you then.